same song was a song that was done in the movie Nothing But Trouble.
Dan Aykroyd, you ain't see the movie?
Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase film.
Dan Aykroyd was having his directing debut. He was finally directing and writing his own movie.
We had an opportunity to do a song for the soundtrack and also to have that song on our album.
Monica Lynch, Townie Boy, says, you interested in Digital Underground? You can go check them out yourself. They'll be at the Palace tonight in Hollywood.
Like you said, it was Hollywood, and we were like one of the premier groups at the time. So, you know, everybody who was somebody, you know, in hip-hop was there.
In late 1990, D.I. released its same song, and Tie the Knot, featured and performed in a cameo appearance in the Dan Aykroyd directed film Nothing But Trouble with Demi Moore, Chevy Chase, and John Candy. The single was released only in radio. However, the EP went gold in 6 weeks.
Dan Aykroyd loved the show. He came backstage with a little blunt. He called it a doobie. Pulled it out, sparked it with us. He was like, we're doing this movie and we want you guys to be in it, you know? And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, that's Dan Aykroyd. Of course I said, yeah.
And we had hella fun, you know, doing it. Getting up to crack of dawn after being drunk all night, Earling and shit, 2 weeks straight.
In 1990, Shock G and Humpty appear on the West Coast Anti-Gang Project. We're all in the same gang. D.I. had their eyes on more than just the silver screen. A young, aspiring rapper by the name of Tupac Shakur had caught their attention and began touring with the group as a backup dancer, hype man, and MC.
Tupac, who was traveling with the group at the time but wasn't on the first record, came to the group in between the first record and the second record, which is, this is an EP release.
Atron, owner of TNT Records at the time, who had Pac, gave me the call that, can you do something with this kid on tour? If not, we're gonna lose him.
You know, we just had to put him on the song. If we didn't put him on the song, he would have left the group.
Everything was extremely strict, and we were the only West Coast group on the tour. The tour was only insured for 8 people for Digital Underground. So for Pac to come, we had to sacrifice someone else. Cullen got left behind, and that's how Pac wound up having to do the Humpty dance and having the roadie and all that.
I feel like in the stories of Tupac, they really can't be told unless you tell the story of Shock G. And it's sad that that's not the case, but there would be no Tupac if it wasn't for Shock G. Shock G saw it before anybody else. The first night Tupac ever got on stage with the mic, how nervous he was, how he had to run back and forth to that. I think it was Detroit or somewhere. He had to run back and forth to the bathroom, back and forth to the bathroom. Da, da, da. And Greg was pumping him up. He said, no, he's oh man, no. They rehearsed in the room. They rehearsed in the room. He used to carry the little heads and the hands across stage. And Greg said, that's over for you, man. That's over. We're moving. And he was like, ah. He was panicking. And he pushed him out there. And that's it. That's the story. That's how it started. And you can't tell that story. Like certain stories can't be told without the foundation.
On tour, we were the main people that people laughed at. Like, we were the fools who would cap all night long on each other. It was me, Pac, and Zazie. And Zazie would just play off me and Pac's different roles as the white boy and the main black dude on tour. But we used to have fun just capping. Aside from that, we were just homies, but we were like real close. You know, he was a little too wild for me back then.
Shut his glasses off. Watch this, Mark. Fuck you up. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go with that.
It was that summer they were doing the Super Soaker thing. I was sitting on the bus talking to Tupac, And I said, why do you find yourself in the middle, in the fringe of every negative thing going on? And Tupac said something that stuck with me to this day. He said, you know, this is all I ever wanted to do, was be known, to be famous, for people to know who I was. And he said, if I sell records and die by the time I'm 25, my life was okay. And that's what he told me when he was 18 years old, in the middle of nowhere at 4 in the morning.
As the D-Flow production squad, Shock produces 3 songs on Tupac's 1991 debut release, Tupacalypse Now. The album sells over 300,000 copies.
You're in the danger zone.
Tupac was signed to TNT Records and management at the time. We were involved in doing the whole record. I Get Around, produced by Shock. So Many Tears, produced by Shock.
Tupac's album was like the next album to come out, and Shock just shot on the track. A little while after that, you know, I get a call back from somebody, and it was like, you know, Pac wants y'all to be on the song with him. He recorded his vocals. He actually recorded our vocals. He wrote a verse for me and a verse for Shock, just in case we didn't have time to write our verse. Pac's verse for me was like, yeah, I'm from Oakland and I'll shoot you with my fofo, and I was like, nigga, please. I'm not saying that shit, even if I hadn't wrote my rhyme.
Drop the ball, dude.
In 1993, Tupac releases his second album, Strictly For My Niggas, which goes platinum. This time, D-Flow produces Pac's breakthrough single, I Get Around. That single also goes platinum.
I actually met Pac when he did his first video. My brothers and I came on the set. We were invited by Mine and Digital, and Pac was shooting, I believe, in LA.
But the video was off the chain. I had so much fun that day. Everybody know Pac is like, you know, in the studio. He spit the rap, he ready to move on. He never was one to be into like mixing and going to edit the video and whatnot. And we knew that Pac wasn't going to go to be at the edit for the video. But I always knew that if the video showed half as much fun as we had that day, it would be a hot video. You know, and the song was already hot, so it worked out.
I pay tribute to Pac. It just shows the more effort you put in, the more you get out of it.
In 1995, as the Piano Man and D-Flow, Shock produces So Many Tears and Fuck the World on Pac's third album, Me Against the World. The album goes double platinum and is still growing. Me Against the World is the last album Tupac records under TNT Records and management. 6 months after signing with Death Row, Tupac is brutally gunned down in Las Vegas, Nevada. His murder remains unsolved.
There's no way that I could perform in this music business that I was entangled with him in and not take a time out to pour out a little liquor. And the way you pour out a little liquor on stage is you play that person's music and just don't do nothing.
Tupac, thank you. We know what that man meant to y'all. He meant the same thing to us.
He inspired them so greatly at one point, you know, so they wild out just the same everywhere, and it's crazy. It's crazy.